Today we're talking about menopause and perimenopause supplements, and there was a brand that I was requested to review from a viewer, not from the company. So this has no sponsorship from the company, but they're Bonafide, and they make some different blends. So I'm going to go over those today and give you my thoughts on that. I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. Thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't been here before, I appreciate you being here. If you're coming back, thanks so much for coming back. I talk about functional medicine topics, mostly lately perimenopause and hormone health for women. And then I also have lots of videos on gut health and metabolic flexibility. So I'm a functional medicine doctor, family doctor, and registered dietitian. If I didn't say that, I don't know if I said that already. But so I do this every day with my patients, and the channel, its purpose is to just help bring you information. It's not medical advice for you because it's not me talking to you as your doctor. I want you to actually have your own healthcare provider, but it's to get you started and thinking about, especially with perimenopause and menopause, because that's not really discussed enough in doctors' offices. So it's kind of a place for you to go and get information. And speaking of information, I have a blog, perimenopause.help, where I have a lot of blogs on various topics. And so if you don't want to take notes, or you want to refer back, or just have some other information related to menopause and perimenopause, check out the blog, perimenopause.help. So today I'm going to be reviewing Bonafide's product. They have products. They have a few different products geared towards menopause, but also would apply to the later stages and maybe even the early stages of perimenopause. So let's look at the most popular one, which is Relizen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But I know I've had patients use it and like it, and let's go over what it looks like. So price-wise, the single box of it is $57. They have a monthly plan for $41 a month, or a 3-month plan for $37 a month. So kind of on par with other things like the Happy Mammoth. If you haven't looked at that review, you can check that out. And so they're marketing this, and I'll put some screenshots as I go here, for a relief from hot flashes and night sweats. So just there, that tells me they're trying to market menopause or postmenopause. If you don't know which is which, check out my other videos on perimenopause and how it kind of progresses. So a lot of the times so menopause is the day you've gone a year without a period, and anything after that is postmenopause. Anything like the years leading up to that is perimenopause. So in that later stage, the last couple of years leading up to perimenopause, or leading up to menopause, that's when you can have more hot flashes. And then of course after menopause, you have hot flashes. So this is geared towards that. So the ingredients are, it's just 2 tablets you take, and they say it's a purified cytoplasmic blend, 320 milligrams, pollen and pistil extract, and it's a patented one, P1/82, and then a pollen extract. So you'll see some of these plant-based pollen related, and this one's unique. There's not really any others that are using this exactly. It's a trademarked blend or whatever that they're, or type that they're using. So those can be helpful, but it's like a 50-50 thing. I don't see it being helpful all the time. I think it's worth a try, very safe to use, and it's 2 tablets a day. But I'm not going to make any promises here because it may not relieve your hot flashes. If you want to learn about some other, there's a device that I'll put in the description that can help with hot flashes. Some other natural ways to relieve hot flashes. I go over things like that, and cooling devices like fans and things like that, all the way to like medications you can use. In my kind of recent, it was about a month or so ago, hot flashes remedies blog. So check out perimenopause.help for that, because there are other ways you can help to relieve hot flashes. But this one's unique. It doesn't have the black cohosh in there, which a lot of people do like for menopause. The thing with black cohosh is it doesn't work all the time either, and sometimes it can cause weight gain, and I know a lot of women are concerned with that. I haven't seen it cause a lot of weight gain, but it's just listed as a potential side effect. So I think it's always good to look at both sides, but it is a plant-based option also. So the ingredients, like I said, are just that pollen extract for this supplement, for the Relizen supplement. But It also has other ingredients like for thickeners, isomalt, maltodextrin. Those two stand out to me because of my gut health background that I talk about a lot. Those would not be great if you have SIBO or even gut imbalance. So if you take this medicine and or the supplement and it causes bloating, then see my SIBO videos. Don't take it anymore and try something else, because those could trigger that. But that's separate from perimenopause and menopause, so you may not even need to think about that. All right, so that's my take on their most popular one. Let's look at, they have a vaginal dryness relief, Reverie. Vaginal dryness is very common when your estrogen drops, and it can be annoying and get in the way of a good sexual experience. It can also contribute to UTIs. So I had a recent video on that, UTI and hormones. Check that out if you're having issues with UTIs. So it's made with hyaluronic acid, and that is super helpful for skin health, for hair growth. So it's also helpful for the vaginal moisture piece. So I think that is definitely worth a try. And it's just the hyaluronic acid and semi-synthetic glyceride. So I think that one is low risk and could be very helpful. Let's look at some others here. The mood swing and irritability relief. I haven't had any patients using that, but I did want to go over it. So that's also got the pollen extract in it. So it's very similar to the Relizen. And then it's got royal jelly in there. I have not used royal jelly for mood. I have used it for gut health. I've used it for immune function and keeping the immune system healthy. So it's interesting they are using it for that. This company is very popular with gynecologists and OB-GYNs, and they have, their patients have seen relief with it. I tend to use some of the other blends I've talked about in like my perimenopause supplement video, or even like the Hormone Harmony. A lot of my patients like, the Hormone Harmony from Happy Mammoth. You can check out that video. So I don't have personal experience with this, but I have, when I was researching this video, I have seen some studies that show that both the pollen extract and the royal jelly can be helpful. So again, very low risk and worth a try if you want something supernatural. Even natural things can have interactions, so you need to be careful and talk to your provider about them. But this one wouldn't really have negatives to it. It's not going to really interact with other medications, and pretty safe. Again, I'm not your doctor, so you do need to talk about it with your provider. And the dose is 2 tablets once per day. So there's some studies to back this up. Oh, it also has chromium. I forgot about that. 1,000 micrograms. That's a decent amount of chromium. That's a lot of chromium. Usually we do like 200 micrograms. It's like 5 times even the supplemental dose. Chromium can be helpful for curbing carb cravings. And if you haven't seen my perimenopause diet video, that was the last one I did, so check that out. And it can be helpful for blood sugar balance. So a lot of times we can get insulin resistant when we're in perimenopause, so we can kind of head down that road towards diabetes, and that insulin resistance can contribute to that perimenopause belly that we often get. So that's probably what they're going for here. Chromium doesn't seem to help with mood a lot that I know of. I think they're kind of trying to target that craving and weight and insulin response. So again, it could be beneficial for that. Pretty low risk though. Whenever you mess around with minerals a lot, like with the higher dose, it can throw off other minerals. So if you're going to take this, I'd recommend taking a multivitamin also that has a balance of other minerals, so you don't get thrown off in your mineral balance. That's my kind of pro tip there. Some of the other ones are not necessarily perimenopause or menopause specific. They do have a Sylvessa system for healthier looking hair and skin. And then they have a ClaraV for vaginal odor relief. So the ClaraV for vaginal odor relief is interesting. It helps to maintain a healthy vaginal pH. And I talked a few weeks ago about how the vaginal pH can be off during perimenopause, and that can lead to more UTIs. I also have women come in during perimenopause that get more bacterial vaginosis, which can be related to the pH being off. So this could be an interesting one for you to check out if you've had recurrent bacterial vaginosis or UTIs when your hormones are changing. Basically, it's a probiotic, but it has folate in there too. And folate is super good for your methylfolate, this version that they have in here. So it's a good version they have in here. Methylfolate is great for vaginal health, and it's great. I use it when women are trying to get their pap smears when they're abnormal to be normal again, along with, eating folate in your green leafy vegetables in a supplement. It can be good for vaginal health. And cervical health too. So, and then it also has Lactobacillus acidophilus and Lactobacillus rhamnosus, two great strains of probiotics. If you haven't checked out my women's probiotics videos and you want to know more, look at those. But these are two great strains of women's probiotics that really help our pH and our vaginal health. So I think this is a great product. It has some thickeners, in there, but it is a capsule. But those are not they're not SIBO triggers, the thickeners that are in there. It's taken once daily for 15 consecutive days each month. So they're having you take it, probably I would recommend the 15 days would usually be the last 2 weeks of your cycle if you're still having regular cycles. If you're not, you could kind of rotate it in and out. All right, well, that's a great product. So let's finish up here. The healthier looking skin and hair system, the Sylvester system, I have not used, but I like to do these videos kind of cold when I know the research behind the ingredients, and just kind of give you my honest opinion without having used some of them myself. So this, you can look on their website, and it's the full ingredient list, and they have in this biotin 10,000 micrograms of biotin. 10,000 micrograms of biotin. That is a lot. Don't think we need to go that high on biotin. We're not that deficient in biotin that we need 10,000 micrograms. So I don't know about that one. Thiocyanin, 150 milligrams. Inositol stabilized arginine silicate, 145 milligrams. So the inositol is great. The thiocyanin is a phytonutrient that could be very helpful. Then it has some thickeners that are fine. They're not usually going to be any kind of triggers. But then there's a skin serum. I always like to check those out, as I've talked in my videos, to make sure no parabens. It does have some preservatives in there, but you're going to need those sometimes with skin products. But I don't like the red number 40 in there. And then the Strengthening Daily Hair Serum, again, has some preservatives. It has hydrolyzed wheat protein. I don't love that if people are gluten intolerant. If they're sensitive, it can be an issue. And a sodium benzoate. It's not my favorite product out of their products, but you could give it a try if you like. My favorite products, I like their vaginal pH supplement. I think women have success, that's what I was trying to say, with the Relizen supplement for hot flashes. I've seen success with that. And then I do think the ingredients in the mood one, which was the Reverie was the vaginal dryness. That one has good quality ingredients. The Serenol are worth checking out, and pretty the vaginal dryness was the Reverie. The Clairview was the vaginal odor. Both of those are worth checking out if you're having those individual issues. For the early stages of perimenopause, the Serenol, mood swing and irritability relief, is pretty low risk and worth a try for checking that out. For seeing if it helps. Could help with weight too, because of the chromium, because of the cravings, but make sure you're taking a multivitamin with that. So hopefully this was helpful. This company has shared, just as a provider, not necessarily related to this video at all, a discount code that I'll put in there in case that's helpful. I'll put in the description for you. But have a good day, night, whenever you're watching this, and thanks so much. And be sure to check out the blog, perimenopause.help, and I'll put all the things we talked about in the description. Thanks. See you next time.